Hi, Dr. Bennett here. I hope you're getting ready to enjoy spring break. You'll probably be catching up on a few assignments, but I hope you get a chance to rest and or do some fun things just to enjoy life a little bit this week. I know I'm going to try to. Um, as we are about 7, 8 weeks out from the end of the semester, I wanted to make sure that I reminded you of a few things and also informed you of something new. Um, First, I want to make sure everybody knows that I turned back your midterm exams. Um, the way I did that was I graded the paper exams. I recorded the grades in D2L, so you should be able to see that in the grade book. And I also took a picture of every page that was turned into me. And in your midterm evaluation section, in that assignments file, you should be able to see that I attached those photos as attached files. And so you should be able to see your whole exam sitting there in photos. And so you should be able to see my feedback on your paper. Let me know if that doesn't work, but that way you can get a sense of what things you might have lost points on. And sometimes, even if you didn't lose points, I might have asked a question to try to get you to answer a little more fully next time. So, if you're thinking ahead to the final exam, please look at this exam because they're going to be just the same format. And most of the time, the points that are lost in the second section where you're identifying passages. Many of you knew which work the passage had come from, so clearly you recognized it. But in describing the context, you might not have actually gotten to the context. So, what I'm looking for is what was going on in this scene? Where are we? Literally, what's happening? And then the significance is where you get to what it means. So you might have answered that for context, the men in the boat, have been in a shipwreck and they're out rowing for their lives. Um, and then for significance, you might have said something like, the men are beginning to realize that nature is not aware of them and that nobody's looking out for them, that nature is indifferent, something like that. So, so if you're a little confused about what you're supposed to be doing in that middle section, please go back and I tried to ask questions or put a comment that would help you answer maybe a little more fully or more accurately next time. Um, so if you didn't do as well as you wanted to on the midterm, I want to encourage you. In my experience, people do better on the final than they did on the midterm, partly because we're still getting to know each other. And so now you know what my test looks like. And you not only know better how to fill out the exam next time, but you also know from now until then what kinds of things to be making notes on that might end up on the final exam. So the final exam is, let me talk about the final for just a minute. I'm going to change our plan for the final exam. It is not going to be a paper exam or a face-to-face exam. Shifting gears here. I think it was really difficult making sure that everybody was able to get to campus to take that exam, either with me or with the testing center or whatever. So I'm glad to have a sample of your work under those conditions, but now I'm going to change the approach and we're going to do it as an online exam. However, the online exam will have the same kinds of questions as the paper midterm had. So you'll have one section of matching, look very much like the one you did, multiple choice rather, sorry, look very much like you did for part one on the midterm. Second part is 5 passages that you need to identify and that for which you need to describe the context and the significance. And then the final part is an essay. So I have explained this in the review materials, but the first part that has the multiple choice and the short answer, the passages, that will all be in a quiz, a D2L quiz. And when you get in there to take the exam, you will have 75 minutes from the time you start it to turn in the last answer and submit your exam. So everybody, I think even people who have accommodations probably won't need more than 75 minutes to do that. Most of you did it much more quickly than that. If you've read, you know the answers, you just need to get them down on paper. So that's the first part. The second part is in the assignments file, and it's just a file sitting there where you can upload your essay. And I will let you know what the essay prompt is and all of that as we get closer to that time. Right now, we're just getting started reading the material for this part of the semester. But the final exam will not cover the same materials as what was on the midterm. So basically, the midterm is over the first part of the semester, first half, and the final exam is over the second half. So you'll have a chance to study. There's a study sheet just like there was for the midterm. So you'll have a chance to think about what's going to be on the exam and study for it. But I wanted you to be able to schedule your exam. So I'm going to open both the quiz and the essay file the morning of May 6th. That is let me make sure, but I believe that is a Tuesday. Yeah, because we have our reading day, our study day on May 5th. So nobody has any classes on May 5th. That's just a day that's supposed to be free for you so you can study. May 6th at 6 a.m. I'm going to open the exams, or the two parts of our exam. I'm going to open the quiz and I'm going to open the essay file. I won't close it until May 7th at 5 o'clock p.m. Please put that time on your calendar. May 7th, 5 o'clock p.m. Not 10 o'clock because I'm actually leaving the country the next morning and I want to make sure I have a chance to grade your test, okay? So be sure and turn it in by May 7th at 5 p.m. But you can do the whole thing the morning of May 6th if you want to. So what I'm doing here is I'm making it so that even though all of you have different work schedules and different class schedules, you should be able to find, let's say, a 2-hour to 2.5-hour period on either May 6th or May 7th before 5 o'clock to complete the exam. So if you have questions about that, let me know. But I believe this will make it a little bit easier for us to get everybody's exam in. One more thing I wanted to mention. You have really, besides the final exam, you only have 2 more major assignments between now and the end of the semester. You'll have some small things like quizzes or discussions. But you are supposed to turn in your article analysis essay, an essay in which you analyze an article that you've selected. You signed up for one. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to go back to the syllabus and figure out which article you're writing your analysis on. It's a short paper. That will be due on March 21st. So that's coming up fairly quickly after we get back from spring break. And then after that, you have kind of a fun project to do where you take what you learned and what you expressed in that paper and you put it into poster format. And it'll be a digital poster, so you don't have to print it. But I've given you instructions about how to do this poster, but we'll use this as a way to share what we learned from the article analysis. So you'll see in the syllabus, but I have you turning that into a discussion. You'll attach your poster in a discussion, and that way we can all get in there in the discussion venue and we can look at everybody's posters and we can comment on each other's posters. So those 2 assignments, that's about all you have left. You've got some reading to do and a few daily assignments. But I think most of you are over the hump. You've done kind of the hardest part. And then the final exam, will be something that you need to spend some time on. But if you have questions about any of these things, let me know. Otherwise, have a wonderful spring break, and we will hit it hard when we get back. Bye.